Mark chapter 2 verses 23 to 28. One Sabbath, Jesus was going through the grainfields, and as his disciples walked along, they began to pick some heads of grain. The Pharisees said to him, "Look, why are they doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath?" He answered, "Have you never read what David did when he and his companions were hungry and in need? In the days of Abiathar, the high priest, he entered the house of God and ate the consecrated bread, which is lawful only for priests to eat, and he also gave some to his companions." Then he said to them, "The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is the Lord even of the Sabbath." One Sabbath day, Jesus was walking along the wheat field with his disciples. Jesus' disciples were hungry and took some heads of wheat, rubbed, and ate them. Pharisees considered it as labor. The Jews has a book, Mishnah, which is a commentary of the Old Testament. There are 39 categories of forbidden labor. They considered the disciples' act as harvesting. Jesus defended his disciples as he told about David, who ate the consecrated bread when he was hungry, and Jesus told them that the Sabbath was made for man. God did not make man because he needed someone to keep the Sabbath. He made the Sabbath after making man in order to give benefit, happiness, and joy to man. If one of them has to come first, God will choose man without any hesitation. It does not mean that we can do whatever we want on the Sabbath day. It does not teach such freedom. A mortal man do not know what is ultimately good or bad. Something we think beneficial turns to be loss, and vice versa. God only knows what is ultimately good and beneficial for us. Then how should we keep the Sabbath? The fourth command says, "Do not work at all." When the command was given to Israelites, they traveled through wilderness. Day after day, they had to tread rough trails. "Do not work" was one of the sweetest words that they wanted to hear. If we change it to an affirmative form, it is rest. Do you feel extremely happy when you think about something that you do or don't do on the Sabbath day? Or do you feel that you are only a tool for the Sabbath? If you feel like that you are used for the sake of Sabbath law, the Sabbath that you keep is not the Sabbath that God made for you. As you keep the Sabbath, if you do not feel that God made the Sabbath for you, if you are not grateful for the Sabbath, something has been greatly wrong. You have to pray and find the right way to keep the Sabbath. The Sabbath command is the gospel. However, for centuries, many people used it as a tool to give more burdens to others and themselves. We are called Sabbatarians. Then we are supposed to be people whose lives are filled with real rest and happiness. Then Sabbatarian will be meant the blessed people. All coming Sabbath may be the day of rest, joy, and thanks in Jesus, who is the Lord of the Sabbath.